When I first took an interest in quilting, it was an evolution because I started out making bedspreads for my daughter. And then I began to realize that that there were other layers that you could do to making a bedspread. And that's kind of how I eased into quilting. And my daughter still wonders how it all happened. She said, "Mom, where did it come from?" It evolved. That's all I know. What made quilting special for me was that I'm not really good at drawing. I have an artistic sense, but I can't create things just by drawing them. But I can work with fabric and make the fabric do what I want it to do. Well, the basic process of quilting, the quilting itself, what they call quilting, is the process of putting 3 layers together: a top, a batting, and a backing, putting them together and then sewing them together with patterns that will hold them all together. So that is the idea of a quilt. For me, the most difficult stage in the process is the basting of the 3 layers together so that there's no wrinkles anywhere when you start to sew it. That, to me, that is hard. And the next thing after that is hard to cut, and to cut accurately. Material is very much the process, for me anyway, because I look at it and it gives me an idea of what I should be doing with it. And I know that sounds strange, but when I worked at the quilt place and I was cutting fabric all the time for people, I was always envisioning what could be done with that piece of fabric, how I saw it, what I would do with it. So to me, the fabric kind of directs me as to what I should be doing. Well, the way I approach design is I found out one of the 2 ways the people do it. They either plan it all out ahead of time and follow that plan, or they move according to what they see and what they do. Now, I'll start out with an idea, but it will evolve and sometimes change drastically in the process of it. And I'm always waiting to see and go, that doesn't work, so what else is going to work, until I always get something that I really like. But I can't plan it. I wish I could. When Eleanor Burns talks about quilt in a day, the day she means is 24 hours. She doesn't mean quilt in 1 8-hour day, because it takes longer than that. And different people are faster at different parts of doing it. For me, I probably spend the most time in the design of it and the layout and how I want it to work. And for me, I have to figure that out, and sometimes it comes very quickly, and sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and go, "Oh, that's what I need to do." What makes my quilts unique is that I don't use other people's patterns, and I don't use other people's ideas. I look at what I have and what it is I want to create, and I'm really good with arranging color, so that no matter what kind of quilt I do, I can do everything from very pale, simple colors to very, very bold, direct colors. But mine are unique because whatever I choose to do, it works well, and it doesn't leave you wishing, well, I wish you put a border on this, or I wish you'd done that to this. And also, it's just that every single one of them is unique because I never do the same thing twice. When I was diagnosed with MS, I had reached a point in my life where I no longer said, "Why me?" about things. My reaction was, "Okay, so what do I do now?" And it took me a long time to find what I do now. I've worked wardrobe, which was very hard, and I worked at the quilt place, and that really helped move me forward. But it's very much, having MS, you have to think about how you spend your energy and how you take care of yourself while you're doing something useful. And that's what I want to be useful. And it took me a long time to get to the idea of quilting as something that would work well with my disease and with my life. And that's probably more than anything. I don't think that MS was necessarily the major cause, but it certainly made it all a lot clearer. I decided to do it professionally once I think I realized that I could, that I was good at it, and that I'm really good with color. And I need something that I can work on at home, control my hours. Because of my MS, I need to control my hours so that if I need to rest, I can rest, and that kind of thing. And to find that there's something I really was good at that had value. My goals in quilting are to have a successful small business. I know that sounds strange, but a small business so that it's not all of my time being taken up, and it stays creative, because sometimes when you try to do too many things, you lose the creativity of it, and it just becomes something you're churning out. But I'd like it to give me enough money so that in what's supposed to be my retirement, which I can't afford to do right now, what's supposed to be my retirement will still be productive. It'll still bring money in, but it'll be on my terms and the way I like it. When my daughter was growing up, the one thing I wanted her to do was to find a passion for something. Whether it made her money or not, just find a passion, because I don't think life is as rich as it can be if you haven't found something to be passionate about. And I'm passionate about quilting. So that's how it feels to me. It's a passion, and it makes life better. My name is Jan Booth, and I am a fabric artist.